Hola and welcome everybody to Monday Night Fire Shrike. And last time when we left off, we were still in the Veskarium, but all kinds of crazy things are going on. Tarrant Kahan has gone off to check in the super secret place where they develop all kinds of weapons and potentially hold political prisoners. The Skittermanders of the Hidden Hand ask Captain Zai for a favor. Shaba and her crew are still pinned down on Vesk 7 with a blizzard and trying to get this dual plague and drug addiction thing under control. We had Burnward and Serold had gone with Commodore to the meeting with the Hidden Hand. We had Serold has been getting a weird feeling that something that he remembers as having always been true maybe isn't actually something that has always have been true. Um, and we had and we also had Ashira doing a great deal of administrative work since she's kind of in charge of the communications department and the, sort of like ship sensors and the mystic department on the Blue Ember. So I imagine she's probably doing a lot of that still. Let's see. And Xander is continuing his research and has kind of like, you know, he's kind of like trying to stay out of the politics and he's trying to limit what he says to Bazik and Isaki, um, who, by the way, are off doing doing their gladiatorial arena event for Bazik. So when they come back, they should probably have a little bit of extra cash in their pockets at least. Um, but I want to start off here with something completely different. Vesa, Xander, it's all gone to shit. The ground team is in trouble. The front lines, you're pretty sure from the sounds of battle outside of the caves and the ruins, you're pretty sure the front line has collapsed. Communication with the sky team with the sky team and the orbital team completely fried. You can barely get bits and pieces of radio chatter out of what's going on here. Xander, you are standing there in front of the door that will lead you, the door that will open the door that will open the code that you need. You're working on the cipher. The portal is massively open in the sky. It can be seen from the ground. It is by the second moon, just wide open. You can see you like not that you can see it, but there are explosions from the air. Maybe you get a little bit of this through the radio chatter. People talking about like they're getting killed up there, um, and it's bad news bears for you. And you're at that point where you hear the violence coming down like the cave, coming down the cave into the catacombs where you're working. You can hear them. And ever since you remember very clearly the moment that the possessions started, Bazik, the first one to go down, the first one to die was Janice McClare. She was trying to hold off. She was trying to hold off a team of Dominion of the Black Soldiers when Bazik suddenly reached over, his eyes filled with blackness, grabbed her by the neck and broke it in one fell move, and proceeded to tear apart the rest of your TAC team. Everybody got scattered. You have no idea where anybody else has gone. You lost track of Ashira. You lost track of Oshni. You lost track of everyone. And right now, those that haven't been turned or killed, you don't know where they're at. The Mad Tinker, you need his help most of all. He's nowhere to be found. Um, and this is the point where they Jezza and Jezza and Nurse Jerktazal standing watching the door look at each other with a bit of worry and like a monster from out of the movies, Bazik, with bloods and cuts everywhere, streaming from everywhere, like comes charging forward down the hall. You see as you see as Jezza and Nurse Jerktasol utilize every ounce of their ability, dodging, ducking, weaving, cutting, shooting. It would have been enough to take anyone down. It is one of the most impressive displays you've ever seen come to nothing, because Isaki steps up from behind and Nurse Jerktasol's head explodes, literally explodes, as we see Isaki with her finishing the spell, and Nurse Jerktasol and Jezza, distracted for that last little tiny bit, is trying to keep a foothold while trying to keep Bazik at the door. Good boy Ezzy, give me some radio chatter as the Dominion soldiers storm your position with evil Dominion possessed Ezzy at their lead. Good boy Prosoff.
What? Good boy Prosoff?
Yeah, I need some good boy Prosoff, Ezzy, or not Ezzy, Prosov, as his position is getting overrun by Dominion troops, trying to call out and let people know what's going on. Evil Dominion. Yeah, so.
This position look kind of fucked. But let me tell you this, friends. Many people come to take pros off head. Many people fail. Maybe these ones do. Don't know. Don't care. Know why? Good people got this. We make it through this. We have many drinks. We don't. Share one with you in hell. Now hold on. Got bitches to kill. Like my ex-wives.
Yeah, you just hear all kinds of fucking gunfire going off, like laser fire.
Just so casual.
Massive, like, craziness. And Xander, Vesa, you're watching this. You're watching this too. Like, you guys are like, this is the last stand. Like, if you don't know what's going to happen if you fail here, but there's no way. Xander, you realize there has to be a very basic flaw in your cipher programs that you do not have the time to fix. And as the sweat beads on your forehead, Vesa, you see directly that a distracted Jezza manages to slips up one too many times, and Bazik whips his chain around her leg and swings her through the air, crushing her against the rocks, and immediately Dominion troops sort of like fall all over. And then he and Isaki stop and stand to the side, and you just see a horde of Dominion troops behind them starting to part and open ways. And I'm going to give you guys the elements of a scene here, and 3 of you are going to build this scene for me. Evil Dominion possessed Shaba, you are at the head of these troops. These are the last of the vermin to be destroyed. Give me a super villain moment here. And Xander and Vesa, narrate me a last stand, a last stand before your characters bite it, worthy of legendary status. Set this one up for me, guys. I don't care who leads
Spanish
this.
angels.
You're not a part of the scene.
Lord help yous all.
Doom, doom, doom. I'm not part of the scene, but I'm the one talking.
Who wants to start it?
You start.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I see Shaba come up, and obviously evil, obviously terrifying, obviously gorgeous, and I'm like, fuck. So I tap Xander, and I'm like, this is it, dude. We gotta fucking go. Like, this is it. So I'm gonna pull out what did I have? Hold on. I had an idea and it's gone. Let me find my equipment. I'm gonna pull out my laser pistol in one hand. And I don't know. does my hand cannon, can I use that in the other hand? Like, fuck it, I'm so full of like
Sure, this is a narrative scene. This is the
Okay.
last heroic stand. This is the last heroic stand. You've failed and everything's done. All that's left is to die with and take as many of them out with you kind of moment.
Okay. So I'm gonna have my sexy swagger hand cannon in the other hand, and I'm gonna pop my my jetpack, and I'm gonna fly up into the air, and I'm gonna fucking bam, 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 as many as I can, and throw out as many grenades as I can. And obviously, I'm going down because I can't last up in the air for very long. And it's
Right.
just like bomb after bomb. I'm gonna carpet bomb these motherfuckers.
Yeah, just you back up at the top of the cavern, throwing fucking grenades and shooting
Yeah.
shit. I love
Yes.
it. I love it.
Just
Xander,
destroying it.
Couple hits hitting you here and there.
Xander, what does it look like as Xander makes his last stand? And what is
Hell
this?
yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, so when she tasked me, I'm like, hell yeah, let's fucking. We started out together. Let's finish. This will be fun. Pull out my gun and start shooting and throwing grenades and be like, hell yeah! I'm helping!
I love the idea that the Xander of this point in time has been a part of this shit so long. He's just like, let's fucking do it, bitch.
I'm helping. Sorry.
Evil Dominion possessed Shaba. How do we bring the curtain down on our would-be heroes here? How does this scene end with their deaths and supervillain monologues and stuff?
Well, she's standing there with her minions around her, and she activates the force jetpack in her armor and floats up to Vase's level.
Oh, fuck.
Just looks at her, cocks her head as she watches her flesh get rewired.
Oh, God. Oh. Oh, no.
And then she looks at Xander as acids start oozing from his different joint parts and different crevices of his cybernetic body as he slowly starts to melt.
You're doing me proud.
Nice. And maybe this is where we sort of drop the curtain, like the last, like, do you have like a monologue here or anything that Evil Vesa is like possessed by the Dominion of the Black has or anything? Or is it
Evil
just-
Visa?
Not Evil Vesa, Evil Shaba.
Shaba.
Yeah.
She looks at him and says, "You're too late, because our time has come. Welcome to the Dominion." And she just leaves it at that.
Damn.
Nice. And we just watched Vesa and Xander go down under like a swarm of like Dominion troops, and we go to black, and we get the Fire Shrike logo, and then we come in to white, all white, and Serald. Serald, you are maybe there's like you are on a surface, and it's white too. But like there's a diffused sort of white light you can't really tell where it's coming from, that is sort of like all around you. But the white that is on the ground that is beneath you is bumpy. There are some, there are small hints and shadings here of a little bit of off-white as you walk and as you're sort of walking along, taking it in, you see a crack in the floor beneath you.
It's probably one of those things where he just has been walking for a long time from different angles. Some really far away where you can't see or hear really much of anything. He's more like a speck, and some where it's just the steady pace of his feet. But at this, he like crouches down on his heels over this hole in the floor and reaches out and just kind of runs fingertips along the length of it.
Yeah, it feels weird. It's got a sensation that you can't quite figure out, but the crack stretches on into the distance some. Going it because it's you come to basically you're coming to one end of this crack, and it's going sort of jagging back and forth, going sort of like in a direction you are walking.
And then probably put some pressure on the crack for a second, then thanks to himself, even holds out his hand, and we get like the almost looks like a targeting reticule, but it's like the symbols of magic as he's thinking to himself for a moment. And then just gets up and starts following the crack, keeping a very even distance between us. If it moves one direction, he moves one direction with it.
All right. Before long, you come across you're kind of like following this crack, and you look over to the side, and you start seeing other cracks that are kind of also heading in the same direction as this one. They're also sort of like lightning jagging back and forth here and there. They'll go straight for a while, and they'll go out a little bit, and then come back in, and then sort of that sort of thing. Um, but if you
And
follow,
do they all
go ahead.
seem like they're leading towards an epicenter?
Yeah, they actually do. They all seem like they're leading to the same place, more or less.
He'll follow the branch that he's been following back to the epicenter.
All right. You walk and walk and walk, and eventually you come to a large hole, and you can see from the edges of this hole that there are more cracks spreading out from all the different sides of it from this hole. And it's not a perfectly round hole. It's like somebody broke a piece out of it, but there's nothing but pitch black in the center of this hole or in any of these cracks as far as you can see. And maybe we get a moment where maybe the camera pulls back, like does a super hard pull back, and it pulls back farther than it's pulled back before. And we see sort of as Serold sort of like shrinks into a speck and beyond, the whole thing is egg shaped with a giant hole that has been punctured in the middle of it. And it rather looks exactly like a giant egg.
I knew that the big egg industry was somehow behind this.
Egg.
And then, Serold, you wake up. Your meditation techniques have made it. Your meditation techniques have been getting you nowhere near the answers you've been looking for, but they have been getting more interesting, at least. There is you do get the feeling that there's more, but there's something in that blackness, that hole, but you can't quite get to it. There's some insight there that you haven't. It took you, days to be able to get the egg, let alone to sort of like get onto the surface of it or get to a point where you were like finding where things were and having a little bit of that. But there is something definitely not right. And that's a feeling that, of course, has been bugging you. But it's also a thing that, like, you've noticed other spellcasters have noticed a larger amount of this, but the only one who seems to have felt it anywhere near the intensity that you've seen anyway, is Isaki, because she's a mystic. But you, as a reality warper, have a much stronger connection to the disturbances with the timelines and the multiverse than anybody else does.
Super
So,
jealous.
yeah, well, you know, um, and you're kind of doing, and maybe it's that moment where like you're, I don't know. Is there anybody that you would want to convene with on this meditation? Anybody you might talk to for insights or just to talk to?
You want to talk to Vesa?
Think about someone on the crew to talk about, but ultimately And perhaps it's a bit selfishly, he wouldn't think that anyone would fully understand
Okay.
the
As he might.
implication.
As he might.
True, but he really doesn't know Ezzy.
Or maybe he does.
That would be funny, though. He's like, I will call up the two most important people, Ezzy and Prosov. They're having a bit of a tiff right now. If I can't be every character on Sunday, I'll be every character on Monday.
No.
But no, he actually like opens up one of his little portals and he's talking to it, explaining what he saw in it. But when the camera pans around, he's not talking to anyone. He's talking to this just empty black void. And after a moment, he's like, they always said that you were more capable than me in these aspects. Maybe they were right. How would things have changed if it were you here instead of me? Was it really a good thing that we parted? Time will show it. Or perhaps it won't. I don't know anymore. Then he closes the portal.
Nice. Nice. James, you don't know how perfectly you just set up much of what I've been thinking about with what's going on with Cyril. I love that.
Oh no! Oh no! The GM's happy!
I love you, James.
Better happy than angry. An angry god is nothing than no one.
An angry god is predictable. A happy god is capricious and wild.
You mean like making a god angry, like deciding to take his giant ship and fly it into the center of a black hole? What?
You know.
Or making the god angry by killing 14 of his ice golems with a damage type that they should actually be immune to, but we're all big dummies and don't know it.
Stop it! Let's not talk about that rookie shit right here.
So, yeah, so you get communicate into this portal. We can't see anything but blackness in it. I think there is a moment where, like, because you guys, like, you're at the moment, all of you that are with the Blue Ember are sort of like on the Ember. It's still being remodeled. It's like they've got the guts pulled out. They're realigning everything and refurbishing everything and making all the big changes and what have you. So, you know, some of you may be in temporary quarters while your personal quarters are getting remodeled, but you are at the space dock. And I think I want to go to real quick here. I'm going to go to Zai. There is there's somebody at the port or at the the docking area that's kind of like that is buzzed in that they have a package for you.
I have people that answer the door for me.
So who is it this time?
Fine. I'll go get it myself because the gods have willed it to be so. Thump, 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 thump. I'd walk through the ship, but it's big enough now that it'd take forever and the movie would be over. All right. Hi. Space FedEx. Nice to see you.
Like, so you got a package for you, and he's got like a a box. It's not a very big one.
Making me do stuff. Like, does it look to be in good condition? Is it all smashed on one side? Does it look like it's been opened and closed?
No, it looks like it's been untampered with.
All right. And this is the future, so I shouldn't have to tip him unless I want to. Thanks, bud.
We're assuming that everybody gets paid a decent wage in space now, are
Uh-huh.
All right. Sean, when's the last time you tipped the FedEx guy? I rest my case.
I'm never here when the FedEx guy gets here. It's probably kind of a moot point.
Anyway, let's move on.
Just don't believe in tipping.
I will kill you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Whenever
Mr.
his
Pink.
character gets here, everyone open fire just for that statement. You've ruined everything. Good night, everyone.
the
Just being Mr.
Yeah.
Pink here.
there's a right. there's a
And we applauded when he died.
there is a yeah. The guy like takes his pad and he looks at you for a minute. You don't tip him, so he wanders. So he leaves, and you know he's a vest. So
Oh, he's a Vesk? That's even better. I tip him
you're in
a
the
sonic
Vesperium.
pistol.
You tip him a sonic pistol. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's good
What the
with
fuck
that.
I
kind
have
of
like 10
universe?
extra of those.
What
Yeah,
kind of fucking Montana universe do we live in where someone does a good job and someone's like, hell yeah, man, have a firearm.
Hey,
Keep it
Hey,
for
it's-
when the
I believe it's
government
called
comes.
It's a
America,
Cat's
sir.
Eye
I was gonna
original. He can
say-
sell it for 20% more.
I was gonna say, if
Well,
you got
so-
tipped a 1911, would you complain?
Well,
I would be
No.
more concerned that I just got accepted into some kind of anti-government conspiracy.
I would be
Mm.
terrified that I have now committed a felony by accepting a firearm not registered to me.
Yeah, the first thing I would be checking
It
is
wasn't
there
registered to
a
them.
cereal bar on this gun? If not,
How many
I'm
murders
throwing it
have been
away.
committed?
yeah.
It also, I don't know. There are a lot of factors in this, but none of them are important at the moment.
Yep. Yeah. So you're
But
Plus, it's a
anyway, I can
Vesperium.
tip the Veska gun, and he will be happy because he'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is nice."
Well, yeah, they're Vesk. If nothing else, even if he has 3 of them at home, he's like, "Oh, just add it to my collection." Hey,
Sonic pistol, yummy, yummy.
Mm.
They tend to like war and things that have to do with war, like weapons and things like that. But
So we're
Um,
still just waiting on them to show back up from being at the super secret place.
actually, you to some extent, yes, but you do know that Bazik and Isaki went to take care of that gladiator match.
And did
whatnot.
anyone go and make that bet?
I was gonna say that's kind of why I brought it up, is I wanted to know if anybody was actually gonna go watch the match.
That's
Yeah, I
actually-
would go
well,
watch
no.
it.
Yeah, Burnward's
Yeah.
gonna go watch it.
Mm,
I
Burn
don't,
Ward
is
likes a
someone
good
that I
fight.
trust more than Burnward going?
I don't know
Twinkle's
where
good.
my
Oh, wait, I
character
can trust
was,
Burnward.
but I would like to go and also use get 'em on the characters.
No. It's
Don't
completely
interfere.
legit.
Okay.
It's completely
Bad move.
legit to give your boyfriend a boost in sparring combat.
Sure.
To fix a match on the Vesperium, you think the ass kicking you pretended to have the other night was hard?
That's right.
Uh,
I forgot
You'd
that
be
happened.
lucky just to get an ass kicking. You'd be like, "Ah, just beat me within an inch of my life," and they're like, "No, we're going to draw and quarter you after we've poisoned you and ate your head."
Okay, I won't use get 'em or anything, but I would like to go see because I'm curious.
Right.
Twinkle will be
I mean,
there
it's
just because you
Bazik.
gotta support Bazik.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
I love it.
2 to 1?
Uh,
I mean,
think the
that's-
odds.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the odds right now are fixed in Bloodmeat's favor because Bazik has been flying around with you for a while. Like, it's that thing where because he got fucking shot halfway across the fucking galaxy, it got shot over into the next fucking system over, and has spent a bunch of time flying around with you guys. Nobody knew that. Everybody just thought that he just was not showing up. So there are probably a few.
They're expecting him to come back and still be the same dude as when he left, instead of most of a level, if not a whole level higher.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are probably those that think he's been ducking blood meat. He hasn't, but there are some that might think that because he's been gone for a minute. And this fight was already supposed to have happened.
That kid, let's go ahead and bet 3,000.
Oh shit! I was doing chump change. 100 credits on Bazik.
Yeah, it's
putting 1,000 on blood meat.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about 2 to 1 odds here.
All right, Vesa, since you're going, you're the one that will place the bet for me. Here's 3,000 credits. Don't write it down. That's what you do. Okay.
Do you let anybody else know that Vasa's got the money?
Well, Twinkle, are you going?
I put down 100 credits on Bazik, didn't I? I'm going.
Oh yeah, I guess you did.
I was gonna say
All right, well, then,
I've gotta.
I guess I could have given it to you too, but I don't know.
No, give it to Vesa.
Right. And Vesa, don't forget to like bet your like random money on it that you get every week, because if you lose it, it's not a big deal.
All right.
Were you expecting me to bet that hard?
No. I totally understood you were going to.
Who wins this tussle then? I got 1,000 on blood meat. I want to be happy I lost a bet.
So this actually comes down to the wire in the sense that it the way it goes down, it is one of the most brutal, bloody, fucking vicious things any of you have seen that could still be called legal. The two of them blood meat's about the same size, maybe slightly bigger than Bazik, and the two of them tear into each other with unbridled fury. And at the end of it, like neither one of them is physically capable of continuing, having one of which one of which is paralyzed from the back, and Bazik, both of his Achilles tendons have been cut, and he's still trying to crawl forward to take the blood meat out. But the judges decide to call it a decision before it actually becomes a full-on death match. It went. They'd been trying.
They're from Florida.
They security has been actually trying to get in past the locks into the fighting grounds to stop this for a minute, and had trouble getting in. But they're finally in there and like positioning themselves to like get blood meat and Bazik out of the ring. And it still takes quite a bit to pull Bazik out. Blood meat is paralyzed at the moment.
So they call it Bazik, right? Or do they call it no contest, let's have him do it again?
They call it's a split decision. And it does cause a great deal of fuss and anger. They call it does call it a great deal of fuss and anger. This a split decision like this hasn't happened in quite some time, especially with a much anticipated match like this. And like I say, because Bazik didn't technically lose, he didn't. They what they do is they take this purse and they split the purse between the two of them, and because Bazik didn't technically lose, he's still considered champion in this arena until he can be unseated from it, or until such time as he is gone long enough for the time limit to expire. This is part of the thing that Vilo Jallo was so pissed off about, is time limit was about to expire and he was going to, and the title was going to default off of him. And Vilo didn't want that to happen. And you can probably see him nervously clutching at his shit and cheering and cheering Bazik on through the whole thing.
You notice that
I wonder how much he had writing on it.
Yeah.
Burn Ward is very kind of like, he's got that casual position about him that he's like leaning back, but he's taking notes the whole time.
Yeah.
He's gathering data.
Yeah. Why?
Well,
Captain Zai does that every time he watches them fight too.
So,
a smart
Burnward.
man takes notes at a fight.
Small rat man goes up to your table. Is this work or play for you?
Says, have to be one or the other?
I've always liked to keep my business and pleasure separate, but there's no reason you can't, I suppose.
Says, generally I don't really have much pleasure, but I do love to see a good bloodbath. You can see how he took out the 13th vertebrae on that big bastard? It was a clever move. Might have saved him the match. I don't know if with those tendons out he could have done much. All it takes is one good swoop at the back of the neck and goodbye, Bazik.
Yeah, but for the record, he broke Blood Meat's back with a literal backbreaker move.
Yeah.
It was a grapple. It was like a professional wrestling. He got pissed off, scooped the motherfucker up, and backbreakered him.
Right.
in full fury mode.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Bane mode.
Yeah,
He went full on Bane on him. So yeah, so these big behemoth fucking, Vesk, like is savage battle. But the advertisers love the shit out of this. Like there there were a lot of advertisers that got paid a lot of money, corporate sponsorships and whatnot. It takes a while, but at some point later on, Isaki will probably find you, Zai, and give you like 5,000 credits, just like because the purse was split and they had to pay out their agent too. So yeah, I mean it was a big money match, but still, and you're pretty sure that Isaki takes a cut too.
So, how much did I make off my 3,000?
Nothing, because it was a split decision.
But I got my 3,000 back.
No,
Yeah,
you didn't get your 3,000 back.
Well-
You got 2,947 because Twinkle and I are going to get a drink.
Fuck yeah.
Burnward
put
is
it on
also
his
going to get a
tab.
drink, but he's getting a drink at a different bar.
Yes.
I love it. That's great.
Actually
He goes
wanted
to
to
the
talk to
diviest mess
Burnward,
bar.
but okay.
Oh no, if you ask him out for drinks, he'll go with you.
I mean, you can come up. We'd love to have you. I mean, you're part of the crew now. Let's go. Come on.
I want to
He-
pick
I'll
your
buy you a
brain.
drink. I lied, Sai. You're getting 29.12 back now. So my bad.
Oh, trust me, Burnward isn't that expensive. Take 15 out because he'll have 3 beers. Like,
I'm not mathing. I'm just gonna keep drinking.
Sure. That's a great idea, actually. That's my life philosophy.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe we cut from this scene real quick here, and I want to cut over, and I want to cut to, I want to cut to one of our mystery guests here. So, Computer King, what's your character's name, by the way? Computer King?
I think he's sending it to you, GM, secretly. Or maybe he's asleep.
Nope, I forgot to check the chart while I was putting in the name.
I knew it.
Riley.
It's okay. The chart's
All
been
right.
bad to me too today.
So Ralik, where do we where do we find Ralik doing here? Like we're like maybe where do we find
Mic
Ralik
on,
and what is he
mic
kind
off.
of doing? Give me a physical description of what he looks like and kind of what kind of dirty business he's doing right now.
Okay, so the scene starts with a view from behind a hooded figure who was the edge of a rooftop, and it pulls in to behind his head and then transitions to a view downward from the rooftop where a couple of well, I guess it's not necessarily police cars, but authority vehicles. It looks like a seedy part of town. They're outside of a building. And that's when the voiceover cuts in. It begins the way it usually does, with me observing. The authorities believe they've found another crime in a series. A crime very heinous. And that's when a cop comes out from the building and pukes behind one of the vehicles.
Nice.
And also one that matches 3 other that have happened very recently. It's amazing the sort of information you can get from the authorities if you just pay them enough. But they aren't who I'm looking for. The view pans over to about a half a block away. There's a Dorindy walking down the street, trying to look casual, but not looking so casual. And he keeps peeking over at the cops as he walks past them. It's amazing how people don't see what's right in front of their eyes. And it's also a sure thing that an artist would be upset at someone copying his work. The Gurindi goes past the building on the other side of the street where Ralik is looking down, and goes to the corner and lights up some sort of cigarette and pretends to not be looking at the cops as the ambulance comes in. But from that side of the street, Ralik can see. He keeps looking over at the cops, tries to make sure the ambulance is between him and them, but also trying to see what and who gets pulled out of the building. Then a transition happens, and the view is from about a half a block from the Durindi, but over on the side away from the police, where it's just watching him stub out the cigarette, so maybe a few minutes have passed. People don't see what's right in front of them, and they definitely don't see what's right behind. That's when the Durindi actually notices someone watching him, and immediately starts walking away from Ralik and away from the police. Ralik starts following. Another jump cut. Looks like they've traveled a few blocks, and the Durindi's gotten some space in between himself and Ralik, and takes a turn down an alley. The secret to being the hunter and not the prey, when the prey knows you're there, is to make sure the prey thinks that they are the hunter. He walks up to the corner that the Durindi turned around, stops for a second to adjust his cloak right before going to turn the corner. The Durindi grabs him, and this is where it actually backs off, and you can see that the hood is pulled all the way down. All you can see is darkness inside. The Durindi raises a hand to, there's sparks jumping in between it because, Durindi and their lovely hand lightning. But then they stop. In fact, he stops moving totally. And Ralik removes his hand from him and takes a step away. They say that there once was a human, a general, a military genius, who said, making sure your enemy doesn't know anything about your capabilities is the secret to success. And that's when he pulls back his hood and then takes off his helmet, which instead of a totally clear visor, has a blacked out visor.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a Riforian. Riforian with jet black skin and no hair. And he's talking. There's no actual sound from this conversation, only the voiceover, as the Durindi stands there frozen in place. That general was dead wrong, because you have to show your enemy what you're capable of. That's when he starts glowing and hovering off the ground for a second, very, very bright. You can't make them afraid of you if they don't know what you can do. And then comes a tight shot of the Riforian's eyes, and you can see their pupils shrink because of all the light, and then, strangely, grow again, even though you can see the light still on them. And when they're at maximum size, you can see there's like a field of stars in them. The glow stops. Raleigh lands, and the Dorindy finally can move and drops to his knees. Raleigh opens the panel on his light armor and shows him the upside down Ankh of worshippers of Nyarlathotep. And when they know of your capabilities, and make them join you. He walks past the Dorindy, who, in basically rapt attention, stands up and starts following him. Reaches into his pocket and pulls out a comm unit as he closes up his Nyarlathotep symbol again. And he reads it. And
yeah, there's a message on there.
Yeah.
That there's a message across the screen that we see that says, "Are you looking for the opportunity to use your skills more effectively and earn some credits? ... And then there's a number."
And that's when it cuts to Ralik's face as he continues walking, getting closer and closer to the camera, and smiles.
Nice.
And scene.
Awesome. And I think we're going to cut over here real quick to, let's cut
Desk
to
7.
Yep. Let's cut to Shaba. Shaba, the blizzard has let up some. It's still going, but it's not as bad as it was. You definitely have. It feels like you're starting to get the plague under control, but the drug problem seems to be getting worse. In fact, there are permutations of drugs that were not here that, as far as you know, didn't exist here before you guys got here. There are permutations of drugs that you haven't seen before, but you kind of recognize the stamp on it, as far as how it's made and who could possibly be making it. There's only one person you know of that isn't currently on your crew right now that has the skills to permit to create production for shit. But you do have Quevelin, who, by the way, has finally just gone back to that bag of shit that he's had in his room and unpacked his gear because he just never used any of his shit before, and comes back out. And he looks like he's decked to actually like ride. He looks like he's decked to ride. He has like a bandolier of darts, a fucking a needler rifle, a needler pistol. He's got armor on, and he just kind of looks at you passively, and you hear in your brain, I had I assumed that you would need every capable body, every able-bodied hand.
Yes, because I think this storm letting up for something else to come.
Indeed. And he says, and maybe Quellon kind of comes and sits down next to you. Like, and probably the least alien gesture you've mostly seen out of him. And he's like, I have a theory. Something happened with loyalty the other day, and there is a thing that I cannot talk about, but perhaps you can investigate. he seemed to have some sort of mental break. It seems like a thread has been pulled. I have no authority. So, and he's just kind of like, he's like, it may be worth an examination if he would submit. And there's a moment where he looks at you, and just as he's kind of like doing this, he's sort of been impassive. But there's a moment where like he looks at you, and he scoots back and cut back up on his seat, and his hand kind of goes towards his pistol for a second, and then and then he seems to relax and goes back to and goes, "I'm sorry. I believe I may have been experiencing symptoms of whatever he was."
Okay. I get a hold of Wreck on the comms.
And he's like, "Captain, what can I do for you?"
Do you know whereabouts Loyalty is?
I'm not entirely certain. Doesn't exactly check in with me.
Comb the ship, see if you can find him. I need him on the bridge.
Will
Don't you
do.
have his comms? Not that I'm there.
Yes, I do, but I'm gonna hold off on using that.
Yeah. There's a few minutes, and you finally get like eventually like Rec walks into the same part of the room you're in. He's like, "Yep, searched everywhere. If he's around, he's a slippery one." Of course, we kind of knew that already, but um, I don't see why he'd be hiding if he were trying to get our help. So I'm gonna make the guess he's probably not here.
Wreck, I have a feeling something's gonna go down and it's gonna go down hard. And I'm not sure what side he's on. So and I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm not quite sure. But if Loyalty shows up, keep an eye on him. And if he looks like he's going to turn tail and go against us, take him down.
Understood. Standing orders reaffirmed. Loyalty looks like trouble. Be trouble for loyalty.
Exactly.
It's like it. He does the whole salute thing that he does, and he's kind of like, and he's kind of like, oh, and I passed by the breaker. I passed by the mess hall on the way, and the coffee was getting a little old. I made a new pot. I figured that somebody was probably gonna, you know, somebody usually gets a cup. Anyway, he goes, uh, I'm gonna start setting up some protocols. And he kind of
Okay.
and yeah, he kind of goes to probably like I don't know, maybe set something up with the cameras or something. Um, and Quevelin just kind of watches the whole thing. He's like, hmm, interesting. Uh, and he goes, he's like, when we leave this planet, when we rendezvous with the rest, I believe I should speak with the Witch Warper. I have some theories I want to run by him.
That probably would be a good idea.
Yeah, he's like, there is a, but yeah, you still have this has been kind of like maybe you get a check in from Glycil, who's kind of been down at the clinic, like he's just coming back from maybe, and he's probably just kind of like he's coming back, checking back in, put in double shift down there. I can't. I'm about to pass out. I can't. It's like we'd have this under control, but the drug problem is just fueling it.
I have an idea who is fueling the drug problem.
And that seems like a perfect segue right here. We cut back in on, we cut away and cut to Dr. Deishborg, one Merch. And you have a group of, people who represent sort of like street gang elements that you're sort of making that are at your HQ, your temporary HQ, which you have converted over.
Yeah.
You have a
We're
lot of
we're at the warehouse portion. of
Oh,
that.
yeah, okay. So you're at the
Yeah,
warehouse?
because this is the demonstration, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, we are definitely at the warehouse.
So give us the scene of Merch's demonstration here.
Are any of the henchmen here, or is it just street gang?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sounds perfect. Yeah, so he looks out at the interested parties and he says, "Gentlemen, I would like to thank you for your time today.
Mic off.
I understand that the situation between us has been less than amicable in the recent months, but I wish to change that and turn that around. I'm offering you a very good business opportunity, and whether you choose to take it or not, you will eventually be assimilated into the network. So consider yourself ground floor investors today." And he doesn't give a shit what their fucking reactions to that is. He just keeps going.
Well, you probably have like a couple of low-level goons that have come in, but not the aces that were at the top of the list.
No, of course. Yeah. But they probably have heard of Deishborg just through the
Right, yeah.
You may call me Merch, as this is my name when parlaying in dealings such as this. Now, I wish to ask you all a question. What is the economy level of this place? Would you consider everyone here well off?
Like, no. Like, there's maybe one or two people, but
That is the answers that I was looking for, because I've been thinking sleepless nights, designing and working, until I came to a very simple solution. Please raise your hand if you have heard of the chemical roxestisril.
they're just like, they all kind of look at each other. These are street drug dealers. They're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Like maybe one of them raises his hand because he doesn't want to look like he's stupid and doesn't know shit. But you can tell he doesn't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah. Says, "Excellent. I see we have a smart cookie in the audience. For those of you unknowing of it," and he looks the guy who raised his hand dead in the eye, like, I fucking know. Roxesistral is found in very rare lab settings in its pure form, and is considered a very, very excellent euphoric drug with stimulant properties and a very high catch rate for addiction. However, there's one other source to get this. You can create an aerated form by cutting open the coolant you find in most vehicles and separating it with acid from ion batteries. Now, of course, I have made this process much more efficient, and also I have made this process much cleaner, because a clean addicted clientele is much better than a sick addicted clientele. What I have done is I've taken these cans, and he holds up basically just old spray paint cans that he's polished up, and I've filled them with 3 ingredients: an aerosol, a solidifier, and roxesistral. And he sprays onto a piece of like just a piece of cloth or something, like this white foam. He says, spraying this within any bag of your wish, plastic, paper, just any things that these sophisticated folk of this planet might huff on, makes it a very potent and easily accessible drug. Very cheap as well, seeing how the overhead on ingredients is virtually nothing, especially if you know where to grab coolant and batteries. I'm sure you have all stolen your fair share of stereos. Now, the very fun thing about, or the very interesting thing about this, and he like unveils a chair that has been sitting behind him in this area, and we see a subject who is kind of strapped onto the chair. He's got like a gag in his mouth. His hands are like tied to the chair. The interesting thing about this drug is that, first of all, the effects are near immediate. He grabs a paper bag, sprays it in there, takes the gag out of the guy's mouth, and he starts screaming like, "Oh, help me, help!" And he just like shoves the bag over his face, and the guy like starts breathing in and panicking for about 5 seconds until he stops breathing so heavily. Murch pulls the bag away. He has this kind of goofy grin on his face, and he says, "Is that better?" And guy just, yeah. Says the very interesting thing about this is that there's another drug that you should probably know about. It is olmexamine. It's a very common drug found in most cold remedies, something that is in high demand on a planet as cold as this. Now, for those of you who are not doctors in chemistry, and he like takes a pause and smirks to himself, olmexamine and roxystrel happen to have a very interesting combination when they combine, especially when roxystrel has entered the bloodstream. Now, our subject here is feeling a bit under the weather. Would you like some cold medicine? And the guy, totally fucking out of it, is just like, yeah, you know. And he takes a simple cold pill and puts it in the guy's mouth, massages his throat so he swallows it and goes, "This is where the magic happens. I would like you to pay attention. This is for your safety, for your clientele's safety, and anything else you do as this information is completely up to you." And it takes about a minute, but the guy starts from having a good time to having a pretty obviously bad time to foaming at the mouth. You see, olmexamine happens to have many congregation points where roxystrel can clump to larger sizes, causing blood clots within the patient. Past that, they also start to overheat as their nervous system and their immune system start to fight over some things that they can't even find, causing fevers, causing hypertension, and on top of that, even giving the ability for strokes, heart attacks, and or lung collapse. And like the guy's like violently shaking in the chair at this point, and like Murch is having to speak louder to speak over him. So the one thing that you should note about this is that anyone who you are giving this drug should probably not have a case of the sniffles. And like the guy's like, "Argh!" And like Murch is like, "For the sake of brevity, I will shorten this display." Pulls out a gun and just blows the dude's head off. And then just sits there in the silence for a second, looks at everyone, goes, "Does anyone have any questions?"
And this is where we cut away. It's a nice fucking bookend there for that scene. Osterstorm. We cut away and we see first of all, like, what does Osterstorm look like, and where is he, and what nefarious thing is he doing? Like, what do we get here before he?
So currently, you see Osterstorm as a woman in a semi BDSM costume with a certainly noble clientele strapped down on a bed. Just obviously a rich person. Before anything that the client can tell, Oster comes up with a knife, and the client tries to untie themselves. And in that attempt, Oster puts the knife into the hand of the client, pinning it to the bed. And taking another knife out of a place that doesn't seem possible, puts it into the other hand, making sure that both hands are pinned down. "Why are you doing this?" says the client. "You know why I'm doing this. You're a very expensive hunt. I just need your head, just your head." Taking another knife out, goes down from the groin all the way up to the chest, just cutting the skin, and then taking the knife, going through the jaw of the client, allowing him to live but not be able to talk anymore. Then starts eating everything out of the chest of this client. The client eventually dies after the hearts and lungs have been devoured. After this point, slowly, Oster turns back into its original form, a seven-legged estrozoan, sitting there eating what's left of the organs, takes the knife out of the jaw, cutting the flesh of the neck around, and taking one of the tentacles into the chest, ripping the spinal cord all the way out, getting the head. Looks over at a suit sitting on the ground, seeing a flashing image of a message, goes over and looks at it. Blood all over the room. Obviously, going to be a expensive cleaning bill. The noble will pay for it, surely. Pops open the message to see what's on there.
Yeah, there is, and it's, and I don't know if you go through like a dartboard or if you have a handler or whatnot, but there is a message that reads, would you like to utilize your particular talents in an effective manner and make some credits as well. ... And then there's a number. and then and maybe that's where we kind of like, yeah. Go ahead.
The estrozoan transforms into a human male and gets into its suit. Goes out of the hotel room with a spinal cord and head attached to it. Not even phased.
You just, like, maybe we get like a few people screaming as he walks through the lobby, and just like fucking like running away.
Not even
and that's
phased.
kind of, yeah, and maybe that's where we cut right there. Um, and then I'm gonna cut back over here real quick to Zai. So Zai, you've got this package in hand, and as you're kind of walking back, and I don't know, maybe wondering about why the hell your like massive crew, nobody else could answer the fucking door. The you get a message on your comm unit from from
Someone.
Zubu.
Oh, what's up, Zubu?
Yeah, and he's like, so, have you got a team picked out for this mission yet? Because I have the
Yeah,
information for you.
yeah. She's probably still angry about it, in fact. Is that what this package is for?
Package? I don't know anything about a package.
Cool. Let's send it through the X-ray machine then.
He's like, so before you, before you,
Send it through an X-ray machine. I got it.
before you,
Besa,
yeah, well,
Mm-hmm.
saddle up. You have shit to do.
But okay, what am I doing? Wait, I'm still drunk. Okay, what am I doing? Am I still
he's
drunk?
like,
Maybe I'm hungover. I'm miserable.
Yeah, hungover.
What's up?
You're at the bar with us right now.
I was gonna say,
Oh yeah.
Twinkle's asking Burnward all sorts of questions.
Oh, I'm drinking.
I'm pretty
Okay.
drunk.
So,
That's fine. Nurk's is drunk too, and she's the other one going.
okay.
well,
Nurse
Nurse is always drunk though, so.
I would be concerned
She is
if she were
technically a
sober.
highly functioning alcoholic.
I am.
Yes.
I don't know. Vesa is not, but that's cool.
Yeah,
We'll give you a vitamin B shot. It'll be fine.
Yeah, Vesa's just a party girl.
Yeah.
So cool. What am I doing right now? By the way, thanks for the drinks. They're so good.
Well, just make it back to the ship, and you'll get your file then.
Okay. Is this like a dress up type of thing? Like, do I get to look cute, or do I have to wear like a bulky like hazmat suit? Like, what's the occasion?
Subu, remind me what's going on.
Well, Zubu has what he needs from you is he has an operative from the Polonus Liberation Front to take care of some of the more technical details, but he needs an escort for his for this operative because there's a Vesk that they need that has information that they need, and like he needs like he can't use Skittermanders for it because they'd be too obvious.
Well, yeah, definitely.
I mean, if you put three of them standing on each other's shoulders and then a trench coat,
Yeah.
not bad.
Well,
luck
that
getting
works with
three of those
Raxolite.
stitches.
Well, that would work with Raxolites on technicality. That does not work with Skittermanders.
Gotcha.
Yeah, good luck getting them to like keep it to stay together to keep the disguise up long enough for anything good to come of it. It is not gonna happen.
ADHD.
Skittermanders are way too ADHD for that shit.
Oh, up.
Eventually,
Now we're
one of them's
shorty.
gonna hop down because they see something interesting or somebody they want to help or something.
Well, but these are terrorist Skittermanders, so maybe.
But
Anyway, it's not important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
good
what you guys have to do.
Okay.
But-
I'll be right there.
I'm
Yeah,
like, it's fine. I just got the thumbs up emoji from, or not the thumbs up emoji, the middle finger emoji from Nurse.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
She's
well-
totally ready then.
yeah, there's a Zubu does follow up with on the information he told you to get. He was like, so your high despot, that Kahan, yeah, he'll find your ambassador there. He's there, all right. We kind of put him there. He asked, just so you know, he asked to go. Well, kind of. It's a little complicated. You see, there are details of his mission that I can't really talk about. It's a professional courtesy, if you want to call it that. But
I don't have that kind of time. Otherwise, I'd love to try.
no. Kahan will bring him back. Kahan will be coming back with your friend, the ambassador. I just need you to remind him about to tell him to remember what we discussed.
Okay, I can do that.
And if he wants to fill you in on any of the further details of his mission, that's his business. But yeah, there was somebody there that we needed him to talk to, and he needed to talk to, but didn't necessarily know he needed to talk to.
Yeah. Still a Skittermander. Got it.
Yeah, it was like, well, they but yeah, he kind of drops the information that Ambassador Blamak, Vortet, Viron of Clan Rahake, they were the ones that kidnapped him, and that they were the ones who put him in this facility. Although how they managed to get him in there is beyond. He doesn't explain. He's
He used to wish. It's fine.
something. Who knows? Yeah, he's just like. He's like, I hope that helps you out some.
I appreciate it. It does help us out. Now we could probably save the universe.
Hell
And he's
yeah.
like, yeah, he's
But after we do this mission for you, of course.
right. Yeah, he's I'm looking forward. He says, our guy is looking forward to meeting the escort you send. We're well, he's thinking more military escort.
Yeah.
He's not thinking that direction.
Right. Get two chicks that are dressed fairly provocatively in armor that show up.
You
So
could just
That's
put
fine.
Twinkle
Yeah,
in a dress and then
We
make him
could
disguise
put
himself.
Yes.
well, Twinkle, we have serum of sex change. If you want to be one of the girls tonight, you can be.
Oh, he would.
Except
he
he
never
only
gets to
needs
disguise himself. He has
Twinkle.
that. He has that.
Does Twinkle need diplomatic kitties?
Dude, I
What?
was just gonna go see Cyril about that.
I wasn't there for that episode.
Well, you'll be there for this one.
Yeah, you have the
Diplomatic
option.
titties? Wait,
Yeah.
What's the long story?
It's
Peggy
a
shooting diplomatic titties.
Yeah.
What is this channel?
It's fine. We'll get there.
Well,
You'll totally be involved.
Well, it's more complicated. Zubu only wanted 2 operatives on this because they didn't too large of a group was going to draw attention. Besides the one that he's already got, so a total of 3.
Okay.
But yeah, like you managed to make it back up to the ship.
Well,
D-
let me.
Desire- yeah, go
let
ahead,
me.
sorry.
Like, can I? Okay, so I'm at the bar and I'm gonna like put my drink down, and I'm gonna like scratch Twinkle behind the ear, and say, "Just be careful with this one. He seems a little dangerous," and they don't know which one I'm talking about.
Right.
Burnward, ever the smartass, just says noted, and then shoots back the rest of his beer.
Yeah.
Pay my tab, and stumble out because I've spent so much of Zai's money. And all of my money. So you're getting less, I'm sorry. Make my way back on the
Twinkle
ship
tried-
and just
Twinkle
Go ahead.
tried to keep you spending Zai's money under 500 credits, and it just didn't work.
it just didn't work. I started buying rounds for everybody.
At this point, Twinkle's like, I had to take what was left of Zai's money from her, otherwise she would have spent that too. Quick sleight of hand.
It's
Yeah,
it's
and
a-
like
Well,
Burnward looks at you and it's just like, rich kids spend it faster than they have it, eh?
That's how I live my best life.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. As far as a rich kid goes, she may have had rich parents. She don't act like, well, okay, spoiled, yeah. But she don't act like she's ever had money, honestly.
Shrugs and just orders another beer.
So, in all seriousness, ex-paralector around here, looking for the Fire Shrike crew. Why?
I didn't go looking. They found me.
But you offered to join.
Well, just say that Ashira and I have some aligned goals.
Those being?
He looks at you for a second, says, "What's the matter? I'm on your side."
This wouldn't have anything to do with a space station, would it?
Listen, I know about you being there. I know about your crew being there. I got dossiers on all of you at one point or another. But,
Oh,
you
did
guys
they
aren't
get
my
my good side?
concern. Says, trust me, Hell Knights don't do photography so good.
Ah, damn it. Well,
And he's like, but yeah, don't worry. You guys weren't my primary concern out there.
and he seems a little like partly relieved but kind of disappointed at the same time. He's like, I was actually kind of talking about, well, what do they know about me besides I'm part of the crew?
Not much. Know that you got a xenoarchaeology background. Fucked up a heist pretty bad.
Oh fuck, that wasn't my fucking. Well, I'm
For what
glad
it's worth, the bounty on your head is considerably smaller than Zai's.
Well, everybody's is. I mean, if the bounty
Eh,
were
you'd be
as big as his
surprised. They-
fucking head some days.
Says you'd be surprised. Ashira's worked up quite the mark.
Well, sure,
Well,
makes enemies wherever the
Anytime
hell
anyone
she
comes
goes.
back from the dead, they're worth more. You know that.
Yeah.
True.
Says, listen, if you got questions about my veracity, I'm gonna put that to bed right now.
Oh no, not whatsoever. I was just wondering why you left after all that time with him.
Stares off for a second. Been wondering that one myself. Takes another drink.
A man after my own fucking heart. Except I
Says-
don't know how I ended up here.
Yeah. He says, order,
You hitched a ride on the wrong ship.
Basically, but we're not gonna
yeah,
talk about that.
he says, yeah, the Order of the Eclipse ain't exactly looked at in the most friendly terms by the rest of the orders. So that might have something to do with it.
Fair enough. What is that saying they
since
have
he's
about...
actually
Go ahead.
since he actually mentioned what order he's from, you can actually make a culture check to see what you know about the Hell Knights and the Order of the Eclipse.
Fuck yeah! Let's do it! Culture!
Not bad.
So, but what might he know about like the Order of the Eclipse? I think 30 is a pretty good roll. Probably.
Yeah, no, 30 is a pretty good
Maybe-
roll. It's not like they
yeah.
intentionally obfuscate their orders, though the
Right.
Eclipse is a bit shadowier. They're still like a known quantity. Eclipse is kind of like internal affairs for the Hell Knights. They're the guys, who watches the Watchmen? The Hell Knights watch the Hell Knights, right? The Eclipse makes sure that they're following law, bylaw, and procedure.
Oh, so you're basically military police equivalent.
Yeah, but think military police that outranks the military.
Sure.
Military police that outranks the military and uses actual devils.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, he basically says yeah, after we got shot out of the sky during an investigation, my whole crew, well, let's just say that they weren't as lucky as me, and maybe there wasn't a lifeboat near them. Our mark ended up finding a way out of there, so to say, in chains. I'm not happy about it still. And I ended up on planet Zai, a hellhole of lawless, disorganized outlaws and bandits.
Hey, it's a beautiful, disorganized melting pot, though.
Well, one thing I can say is if there's no decorum to follow, there's no reason to kill someone for not following decorum.
You know, that is probably the most obvious thing I've ever heard, but yes.
Bernward actually cracks a smile at that and says, yeah, you're a sharp one. And just takes a drink.
Oh, hey, I've been putting circles
ahead.
in square holes since the day I was born.
He's like, some mornings feels like that for me too, brother.
Works as long as the circle's small enough.
So,
Go
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, since we're sharing, I guess, So, they didn't talk about anything on Akaton first question.
Nothing in detail, no.
Oh, good. Fuck yeah.
Twinkle's like, I want to leave that behind me.
Yeah, he's like, they know that you were
Hmm.
part of some rough business, but weren't a quantity needing to be known until you joined the ship.
Fair enough. And to be honest, I was just a helper.
Hmm.
Of course.
You know, aren't they all just helpers?
Well, yeah, but usually the maid service doesn't fry computers and destroy people's brains. But, you know, hey, you know.
Shrugs.
Anyways. Oh, shit. How many is that? 2? Fuck. Can't keep up with you guys. Worse shit. Suppose if I tried to, I'd be dead, wouldn't I?
It's your tiny rat liver. Takes another drink.
Really? I thought it. I thought it was these tiny ass cheek pouches, huh?
Tiny.
Oh, God.
He's like, tiny. You could hold a whole 9 holes front and back worth of golf balls in there, kid.
I could, but I'd just keep a rifle in there instead.
Yeah, he's like, pragmatic. No offense, but most isekai I know would like to hold a lot more, things that aren't theirs in their cheek pouches. Don't get checked too often, it's considered rude.
I used to do that when I was a younger rat. Of course.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I just like the idea of getting into combat with an isekai and they pull a literal M60 out of their mouth.
I mean, you can hold up to what is it? Fucking.
It's a one bulk item.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that they're getting at there is that there are rifles that are like collapsible, rifles that are like modular. They're breakdowns.
Yeah.
Like you break it, you break down your sniper rifle and just put it in your cheek.
No, I'm not broken down. They just open their mouth and pull it out like it's a clown car.
I love that idea.
Oh God.
But yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. But he's like, got a question for you there, kid.
Oh, okay. Let's see what this kid can do for you.
He's like, who wouldn't happen to know, oh, what the fuck was his name again, Sean? My target?
Which one? What, Cervantes Court?
Yeah. He'd be like,
Shira's nemesis?
Yeah. It's like, you wouldn't happen to know much about the whole Cervantes Cordrum thing, would you?
Oh shit! What would? I mean, Twinkle's obviously heard the name, but he's never even met the person face to face, has he?
Nope, but that's the same person who killed Nahir.
Sure. I'm just trying to think of what he would divulge of that. But
Yeah.
I think you're muted.
me?
Who?
I can hear the captain talking from the other room, and
Oh.
and
Oh,
I think he's trying to reply to stuff, and he's muted,
Hmm.
or
gotcha.
having audio issues.
Oh, gotcha.
Audio issues. So
What?
yeah.
But I mean,
Nah, I was muted.
I know.
Oh,
as
you're
much
muted.
I know as much as the next guy. Asshole who killed Nahir is the reason I'm the one waxing the car instead of him.
Says, well, that's certainly another feather in his cap. Takes another scornful drink. If you haven't noticed, most of Burnward's emotions are swallowed by drinking.
Yep.
We are going to get along.
You're getting it all.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see. Yeah. You know, if there was one mission I would have liked to have back, it'd probably be that one. You know, ironically, it's probably the only one that's really made me, noticeable within the Fire Shrike crew. Haven't done much else after that than collect intel. It's funny how... see, before I was with, that group on Absalom Station, I was pretty hands-on. Now, not so much. I mean, okay, you've heard of the Pristine Muses?
Nods.
Okay, so... And Twinkle's had, quite a bit for a rat at this point, probably saying more than he should.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so them and, well, what the fuck they called the transcendent cortex, whatever the fuck, the machine brain boys and then the other creepy fucking brain boys. They've been going at it in fucking Ashok forever. And I needed a way off world. So decided if anyone was going to, well, do anything, have any weight to get me on a transport, it would probably be one of those two. And, well, let's just put it this way. They're both fucking creepy, but I can hack into computers a lot easier than I can flesh. So, I got on with a small job for the Muse. And, well, we decided to put a... it's kind of like what do you call it? It's kind of like a DDoS attack, but instead it just starts overwriting everything, starting with vital functions first. And even worse, if you've got your fucking wireless adapter connectors in, it goes across that too. Oh, such a piece of work. Anyways, put that in one of the fucking USBs set to be delivered to the Cortexes. Oh boy. Quite the to-do about that. I think we got 2, 3, 4 of them. The key wasn't to try and break down their firewalls, but to get them to, lower them for someone they trusted. That was fun. And that got me a ticket off world with a handsome sum.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, never know how many of those fuckers we got. Corp Wars, right?
He
Here's
looks
Twinkle
at you.
just admitting to be a murdering terrorist.
Yeah. He looks
Oh.
at Twinkle for a second, nods, says, "Different Warriors code. I respect it, though." Takes a drink, says, "You ever rip a man in half with a chainsaw?"
Nice.
Moo!
And I think this is a good point to drop over to a little scene here with Captain and Vesa real quick. And then I want to get to, and then I'll drop, but let's go. Captain, where do you have like Nurks and Vesa meet you to debrief them on the mission?
Right here.
Cool.
Right. Is it
Yeah,
going to be
now.
like is it the bridge or the mess hall or is it the cargo?
Let's do it in the cargo bay because they're gonna want their motorcycles.
Oh my god, I forgot I have a motorcycle.
Right,
So-
and it's actually a Nurks original, not a Zai original.
I love her so much, but don't tell her. We won't be able to be friends if she knows.
So when you get there, Vesa, like the Zai is there, and I think Nurks is probably, it looks like she just got there too, and she's standing there with a very stubborn, pissed off, annoyed, angry look, like on her face. And Captain, you see Vesa make her way in, probably still stumbling and
Just
what
a
have
little.
you.
Just a little bit of a stumble. The night air has cooled me off. I'm still fucked up, but let's go.
Stumbles, all right.
Yeah.
Nurks just like shakes her head, looks at you, Zai, and she's like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me."
Why are you such a bitch all the time? Like,
Wait,
why
did you
can't we
say
just-
that out loud?
no. I shouldn't have.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Yeah, you totally said it out
I
loud.
did.
You
'cause I'm
totally
drunk.
fucking
I
said
did.
it.
There you go, Justin. That if that's
Yeah.
not a lead in to some
50-50.
fucking shit, do it.
Yeah, Nurks just looks at you, and looks at you and goes. She goes, "I'll stop being a bitch when you stop being a cream puff." And she just looks at Zai. She's like, she looks at Zai, look at you, Zai, and she's like, "Really, babysitter duty with a cream
Listen,
puff?
I don't.
Give me
The cream
somebody
puff.
more competent."
Oh, you fucking. What the fuck? Why do you make life so hard? Why can't we just be cool?
She just yeah, I think she does that thing where she's just like the fucking hand thing. She's like, and, and she kind of continues bitching to you. Zai. It's she's like, just Colmac. I mean, at least he can take a hit. I mean, he can't sneak for shit and hurt or hit the broadside of the barn, but he knows his way around a computer and he can, take a hit. I've seen the video. He can't hit the side of the broadside of the barn, but he's standing.
I'm gonna
He's
use
trying.
my reroll for that.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Okay, that's at least a little bit better. Look at it this way. Maybe she'll die.
Great. And then you'll be pissed at me, and Ashira will be pissed at me. Thanks a lot.
I'm gonna wink at her.
All right, so now back to the
Flip you
mission at
off.
hand.
Mhm.
You're going to protect. What's the guy's name again?
Well, they didn't give you a name. They're just like
No.
he's got a location for them to meet the operative.
Okay, so yeah,
A location.
and the goal is to get them there without dying and get back to me. And if you do that, not only does it help us complete part of the mission, but our goals will get closer to completion as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
To these coordinates. Now, remember the rules. I don't care if you don't like her. Watch your back. End of story. Those are your orders. Also, remember if you die, your beer is going to get way worse because as good as you fuck up your whole thing.
Kodak's actually pretty fucking good. You, on the other hand, need work. She's like, she's kind of like.
I've invested my experience elsewhere. Thank you.
She just kind of turns around and she's like, she's like, she just looks at you. She's like, grumbles a little bit, and she's like, "Come on, cream puff, we got a fucking jackass to fucking escort around. Not that kind of escort. Don't even giggle."
Fine, but I have to go find Harold first. So give me like 20 minutes.
Which, by the way,
give
you
you
would
that.
both. Which, by the way, you would both notice that Nurse has changed her hairstyle. Instead of the bright pink top knot that's super long, she's now going with like blue and purple pigtails. You don't know
Oh,
why she
shit.
prompted the change.
Those are my colors. What's she doing? I thought she was
Those are
bitchy.
all-
Okay.
Those are also Ashira's colors too.
Oh shit, that's
so-
right. Well, I can't help that, great minds think.
Yeah,
All right.
it's commonality. So and it's one like I think she probably like the first time she saw you favor those colors, she was probably like, "God damn it!" Like,
Yeah. Fuck you.
Besmera. She's like, "Besmera, fucking take her." Because she is a worshiper of Besmera. She doesn't really make a big deal out of it most of the time, but she's very much into the space pirate religions and stuff. So
Yeah, Besa doesn't know enough about that, I don't think. She's not a space
Yeah.
pirate. She's just not. Not yet.
Well, and like you guys don't necessarily have to deploy until the next day because the
Okay.
meet is the next day. It's just Zai was just giving you the mission at this point, so
Gotcha.
you've got time. You've got time to sober up before you go on, and like there's probably that moment like when you do go off on the mission, Nurks probably still has that same "come on, cream puff, let's go" kind of attitude.
Right. Which is just something I'm gonna have to live with, whatever.
She's just like fucking yeah. But we'll we'll get to you and Cyril. Well, we'll get to you and Cyril here probably next week. We're starting to run short on time, and I am sorry. You have much bigger shit coming up, though. You already know that. So,
Yeah.
because there's a lot going on. But I have one last scene for you. Hello, monster, who has been waiting for the end of the night.
Hello.
So where do we find Gnaw at, and what is Gnaw doing?
No, and I will change my name now. There we go. It is nighttime, late night, in fact. Outside of a rundown, seedy bar in one of the poorer districts. There's a dumpster, what have you, on the side of the bar, and very little traffic coming by, and you see a man kind of slumped up halfway between the wall and the dumpster. He appears to be sleeping one off, but it just kind of twitches every once in a while. Around the front of the bar, another man comes out, drunkenly stumbles out rather, and says, "Good night, Al." You hear a chorus of yelling from inside as the party goers inside are still whooping it up. This man comes around and stumbles around towards the alley, the side alley that leads to the back. As he rounds the dumpster, he trips over the man slumped in the shadows there, and almost falls. Catches himself, braces himself, turns around, and is like, "Why didn't you watch where you're going? I give somebody a heart attack." And upon not receiving a response from the other sleeping man, says, "It's the nerve of some people," and starts stumbling off back towards the back. He gets a good 10, 15 feet away, and the body begins, or the person there begins shaking violently and twitching, and out from the belly of the man, from a previously concealed wound, as the body as the now obviously very much chewed on body, uh, is a wound is revealed, and a withered hand or paw slinks out of this wound and comes up on the chest of the man and uses his chest as leverage to push the rest of himself out. And you see a very blood-soaked and mottled fur, just almost mangy-looking isekai pulling himself out of this man's corpse, and he pulls himself halfway out, looks down the alley towards where the other man was can still be seen stumbling away, and the isekai says, "Still so hungry." And as the camera pans towards the isekai begins walking or scurrying towards the back of the man, and as the camera pans and goes past the man and stops on some bricks against the wall just ahead, you hear a shortened scream that suddenly gets strangled and cut off. Ah! And blood spurts over the brick in a cascade of crimson, and fades out. Scene fades out.
I love him.
What
Maybe
the
we
fuck?
get just like this.
What the
Maybe we
fuck?
get like just this heartbeat of blackness, and then we come back on to a scene of just a bloody mess of body parts and this undead isekai gnawing on stuff, and we hear something, like we hear something, and as the camera pans around, there is a drow elf woman leaning against one of the dumpsters, who looks over and says, and it looks over and says, my, the rumors were true. This is exactly the monster I was looking for. How would you like to eat your fill and get paid for it?
There will be flesh. There will be
Oh, there will be
blood.
plenty of it.
Yes.
And then we drop back to black. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
for all of you out there in the audience,
Are we the
we are having
baddies?
yes, we have some guest stars who are going to be playing some villains here, through part of the arc here, as you have just seen. For those of you who are a part of the regular cast, go ahead and start sending me your Player's Choice Awards votes. And for we'll go ahead and get started on sign-offs, but we're going to start with our guest stars, our evil henchmen, because Computer King is such a pro at it. We'll start with him.
Yeah, I'm the Computer King, the supervillain of streaming, and I played the one henchman who's not eating people. He's just casually recreating serial killings. That's all. And on Wednesdays, I run from hench to mensch, where I'm running some henchmen up the ladder of supervillainy. You see, I've been doing this supervillain thing for a long time.
Part of the
On
reason I tapped him.
on Sundays, I'm in Tales from the Cosmos as Corin Deadblade, the wizard that walks like a fighter, and Eliadris Night Eye, the elven monk who's probably just a yeet master because he throws people around all day long. And that's all my games.
Oh no.
Awesome. Bologna Jelly, why don't you go next?
Well, this is Baloney Jelly, also known as Gnaw, the undead, the foray isekai, in fact, and who has apparently, at some point in his former life or current unlife, has developed a taste for flesh, as you have just seen. It's it promises to be a very interesting few cameos for him. We'll see what's in store. You can catch me Tuesday nights right here playing Don't Seattle for Anything Less, run by Devana. And I play the very unique Slack Heap. Yeah, this it's just a very unusual troll and a very unusual character type. He also is not picky about what he eats. Maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know. But other than that, you catch me Tuesday nights at 7:30 or so, and right here for the next few sessions.
All right. Awesome sauce. All right, Captain Revenge, why don't you go next? tell them who you are, what you're doing. If you had any like extra streaming activities or Twitter that you want to plug while you're here, go for it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I do some YouTube, Captain Revenge. That is Captain without the last A and Revenge without the last E. I do some Twitch streaming every once in a while. If you'd stop by, that's about it.
All right, and you were playing Osterstorn, so people know the Astrozoan, the Astrozoan murderer.
Yeah.
They're all murderers, so I mean, a lot of nefariousness going on here. So
Just like the taste of all of life.
yeah, taste the rainbow, I guess, and by rainbow we mean like all of the other kinds of species that you can taste.
It tastes like victory.
It
Can't
tastes
turn
like
into them without tasting them.
exactly. There you go. Awesome. Cool. And we'll go on to the main cast. Xander, why don't you go first? Since we normally have you go first, because you're awesome and we like you.
Love you, boyfriend.
Okay.
Love you, boyfriend.
Yeah. All right. Who am I? What name are we going by today? I don't know. Psych, Scott, whatever. Pick a name. I don't know. So, I played a little bit of Xander. Didn't do much, but got a preview of my death. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of fun. That was kind of fun, though. I don't know. I took it in a different direction. Maybe he is from a different universe and he's more forward. I don't know. We don't know. Okay. So, what else am I in? Tomorrow night, I'm in Don't Seattle for Anything Less. I guess is that right? Anyways, play Sir in that, which is the dude that controls the machines and makes them do what he wants. So we finished what we were doing there and returned their stuff back to him. I don't know. I handed them a suitcase. They gave me my money. I verified it, and we went about our merry way. Whatever. And then I'm also in Hinch to Minch on Wednesday as night. And what we do, finish season 1 where, I don't know, somebody threw a helicopter at a building and the building collapsed somehow. I don't know. I wasn't there. I disappeared because fuck it, I'm not going to die. If y'all want to die, die. I teleported out of there. Deal with that. And I think it's this Saturday, right? Yes, that's the Bitter Ends.
Yep.
Okay. So this Saturday in the Bitter Ends, I'll play Castiel, who's an angel and heals people. And hopefully we'll get past the whole little awkward group hug thing, I guess.
Oh God.
Yeah, we've been stuck on that group hug for what, a month and a half now?
Like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's shirtless or something. I don't know. Why is that kid
Right. Poor Daniel.
I love him.
Awkward.
So awkward.
Hi. You've succeeded in making the apocalypse awkward. That doesn't normally happen.
It is incredible. It is an incredible feat.
It was incredible. I give her mad props.
Jeez.
All right. And when we bring back the Ballad of the Menagerie, I'll be
Hashtag Shrike versus.
Yeah. And we're making that planet better, so you can't complain about Planet Kneecap being all lawless. We're trying to make it better. That's our plan. I don't know.
Trying.
Yeah, trying. And I think that's everything.
All right.
The sigh of disappointment was so perfect.
So let's go to first of all, I still need Zai's vote, Captain's
Oh,
vote, and
I'm
two,
so sorry.
we need you we'll go to Vesa next.
Yeah. Hi, guys and girls. I'm Amy Gedden. Tonight I played Vesa, a Lashenta envoy who's not great at being an envoy because she keeps running her mouth to Nurks. That's kind of ridiculous. Also, she enjoys spending daddy's money. Doesn't matter which daddy, pick one, she's going to spend it.
What the fuck is tonight, guys?
Cannibals and daddy.
I love Visa.
Daddy, no!
So let's see, I've lost my train of thought. Catch me every other Saturday night. I play Starlight Fingertoes, a mechanic who has finger-like toes and is in an awkward, impossibly impossible hug that she needs to get out of immediately. Not that type of person. Like, this is too much. She's got shit to do. And then Sundays, I'm in Tales from the Cosmos, where I play two characters, which is wild because I just learned Pathfinder, but that's awesome. I am Steal Your Girl, the elf dust walker Stella Nightshade, who cock-blocked her brand new friend, sorry about that, and then stole the girl. Or I'm also Leto, the barbarian, that doesn't have a lot to say, but she's a fucking tank. And that's it for me.
You also
right now.
almost killed our friendly golem.
I didn't know. I came in late to the party. I was pooping.
Twinkle.
Hello,
Cyrus,
ladies
you're up
and
next.
gentlemen. My name is Cyrus Smith, and you just saw me play. Well, God, what even the hell was today, guys? I think the
It was great.
I think the theme for today
It was
was
tasty.
murderers and sadists and cannibals. Oh my! Punctuated with, so I committed mass murder once. I was using a computer program, but it was still mass murder.
Is it mass murder if it's simulated?
Well, they were people once upon a time. I don't know if you'd classify them as people now. That's a debate for later.
No, cognitives are definitely still people. Or contemplatives, I mean.
Are cognitives still people if they're also dissonant?
So that being said, you can also
Labels.
catch me on Tuesday. Well, I'm playing Drifter, an old lady that kind of sounds like Twinkle, but it's really just a little old lady who sits on, like 3 stacked high phone books in her truck and runs people the fuck over.
Blows them up with grenades.
So if you Drifter here, if you're ever in the mood to play, Shadowrun 6th edition, get the grenade launcher. Just trust me. Get the grenade launcher.
Don't have to tell me twice.
It's certified effective against petrophages.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, very much so. See, you don't even have to shoot it yourself. Just get your drone to shoot it. Anyways, you can also find me on Wednesday, where, alright, the tower Anvil has fallen. Trying to figure out what Acer's going to be doing this next week, because it's going to be a couple months afterwards. I think if she can't kill Winchester, she's just going to go after everything that he holds dear. That includes his company, the new hospital he just built, the house he probably moved out of. So we're going to be going from a very targeted sniper to an arsonist. Oh, that's got his company's logo on the side. I'm just going to, Molotov it. Sorry.
Hey, arsonist is that's Salvo's job.
Well, different game altogether.
Yeah,
she's a supervillain. Yeah. She can do what she wants, and if that includes assassinating all of his business executives because she's mad at him, hey, supervillain. But yeah, you can also find me on Thursday in Project Severovo, where I'm basically playing myself because the fourth wall is gone. And
See ya.
And yeah, I mean, well, think about it. The old lady was alive, then dead, then alive again, and then blowing my fucking cover as a spy to the other players because she fucking felt like it. Mike.
Hey, you were speaking to her alone.
No, you know how this game works. The other players are around to hear it, even out of character. You know how this game works.
I'm fucking laughing.
You're not the only person that I'm ruining secrets for. Don't worry. You know this.
Yeah, but James plays Clueless really well. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with his character.
Yeah.
Look, there's nothing to be figured out. In character and out of character, I am dummy.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Whatever you say, Stalin. I mean,
Shit!
Whoa.
Got him.
He knows I am actually Joseph Stalin.
Yeah, we discussed this at the beginning of the game. I approached him and was like, listen, I'm going to extend this offer to you, and if you don't take it, I won't let anyone else take it, but you get to be Stalin.
Well, you know, Stalin's real name wasn't Stalin in the beginning. I actually forget what his real name was. Anyways, you can also find me, well, Friday and Saturdays are my days off in this 5-day work week, but you can catch me on Sunday. Wow.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Light the fuck up. Sunday.
Sunday.
Just kill me now. You can also find me on
Sunday, Eastern Pacific.
Sunday, where I'm running Tales from the Cosmos, where our bands of intrepid adventurers, fucking chain lightning works really well on chain lightning's fucking great on ice golems when there ain't a bitch in your ear telling you they're immune to it. Rookie
It's
moves,
okay.
rookie
It was still
mistakes.
fun.
We won't do that again. Just kidding. Gunner from the future here. He's definitely gonna fuck shit up later on. Just watch.
I was gonna say you never get past that. As a GM, you will eventually fuck things up at some point. The question
Fuck things up
is-
all the time.
But it was real.
exactly.
But
The
it was.
question is how good are you at covering it up? Is where you get.
But it
you
was
get
real
into it.
damn satisfying to watch Pulvari single-handedly kill over 2/3 of the golems sitting there. Most of them actually on full health, because when the crit damage is 126, and they crit fail when they roll below a 10, and somehow you keep rolling below a 10. Oh god, it fucking sucks.
It was incredible. It was
Um,
beautiful.
Yeah, and on the other side of the world, you can see, Stella, who's, got a new girlfriend, and Grandma, who's run by Gary, that isn't here right now, but, that is learning that, her family members are, being held captive by a crazy fucking fae named Sheila. She's got to fucking talk in an Aussie accent. No, she can't, because I can't talk in an Aussie accent. Anyways, and other things like, hey, have you guys forgotten that your guys' friends are, being held captive?
Yes, but now we have like 4 things we need to do in order to get people off of our backs. We have way too much going on in this city. Don't go to Vegas.
Oh, just 4 things? I've actually been working on a Word doc right now to keep everything straight. It's a
Anything
lot
involving
more than
Bob
4.
doesn't count because that's the meta plot.
Oh, no. Anyways, that brings us back to Monday. So that's pretty much me.
Alrighty. Then that takes us to Nightheart.
Hi, hello, friendolas. My name is James, otherwise known as Nightheart. You caught me here today playing Serald Silverchild, who's might well be called S because he's pretty much L, except hopefully he doesn't get murdered by a book, except who knows, we'll see. Maybe that'll be the thing that murders him in his cutaway. I also got to play Prozov, who is basically drunk Russian man who murdered all of his wives, but somehow this is good Prozov. Also, the first thing he did upon trying to scout out
this
this new
is
planet when we
software.
went to Planet Kneecap was get attacked by a bird lizard, and so vengefully ate its eggs in front of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm guessing the Prosov that the good boy Prosov, instead of murdering his ex-wives, they just all divorced him.
He only murdered
He
them
just like
after they divorced him.
no. I mean, I think this was probably more of a they divorced him and then left, and he because I can't find true love. Where is
Oh well, that one was bitch anyway. Next wife I find will not be bitch. Instead of
Spoiler alert.
Always-
She was bitch.
instead of shotgun. His weapon I used to kill third wife. But you can also find me here on Wednesdays in Henchman where I play Martyr, the pain-dealing, pain-stealing super mutant who was fucking babysitting while all these guys are off playing fucking Cyberpunk 2077 or some shit blowing up Arasaka Tower. And he's gonna be like, why is everyone have fun without me? But you can also find me here on Thursdays where I play myself and apparently also Joseph Stalin, the world's best leader who never did anything wrong. Anyone who tells you otherwise does not deserve to not live outside of a gulag. Where I played Olzek Malganovich, the KGB spook who got spooked because another spook outspooked him. Because it turns out that this entire time we had a fucking OSS spook because it's like 20 years before the CIA is a thing. So this is like proto-baby CIA.
Mm-hmm.
This is like being a Pinkerton, and then you wake up one day and someone sends you a letter and says, "Hey, you're not a Pinkerton anymore. You're an FBI agent. Here's your federal paycheck."
Yeah.
True story, by the way.
Hmm?
Yeah, there was a private group of lawmen in the Old West called the Pinkertons, who the government fucking bought and called the FBI.
Arthur.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you learned from Red Dead Redemption.
Arthur,
Right?
now,
Arthur!
you need to have faith in me. I have a plan.
Just
My
one
plan
more
is to
score,
talk about
Dutch.
what I do on Sundays.
I just need more time, Arthur.
Games.
And on Sundays, you can find me playing a whole bunch of different characters, including Polvari, who got to turn into the Senate and annihilate like 14 golems in one hit. And I swear to God, if the GM had tried to like take that away from me by saying, actually, they're immune to lightning, I'd have just like said, I'm the one who's streaming.
Dude,
I'm in charge.
they-
This is
they-
a power move.
They have so many fucking immunities. Trying to spot
That's not how
anything
this
on
works.
that fucking list, dude.
It works if I say it does, Arthur. But play a whole bunch of characters. Half of them are trying to figure out why we have wristlets that might have turned us immortal, ? And the other half are stuck in a strip club, and none of them want to partake because one of them is basically a starvation victim because turns out his family was cursed to have the souls of daemons. Another is a paladin, and paladins are no fun, and the other one's literally 4 years old.
She's sleeping though. She's in the cauldron. She's asleep.
No,
Know where
not
we're at.
Val.
No.
I meant
Okay.
Rawl.
Oh, poor.
Rawl might have the body of like a 25-year-old, but he is literally 4 because he was a homunculus.
Oh no, poor sweet Rawl. I'm so
And you
sorry.
guys are like, strip club.
I know, it's terrible.
And this is all leading up. This is all leading up to, instead of the War of the Ring, it's the War of the Bob, because the Council of Bobs is out to get us. There's so many Bobs. There's so many
Oh
dwarves.
my Bob.
It would be the perfect campaign for Captain Zai to be a part of. not Fire Shrike Captain Zai, but David the Gnome, the guy playing Captain Zai.
I imagine it's going to end with a climactic space battle between us having all of our characters and an literal armada of, like, instead of Palpatine raising a bunch of crappy CGI Star Destroyers that shouldn't have been there because bad writing, it's Bob raising an entire army of Bobs from other universes because good writing.
I
And with me throwing shade at people who are much more famous than me and get paid to do things that I could only hope to do, I pass it on.
All right. Let's go to Brian.
Wow, I just don't know how I can outshine that one. But yes, I'm Brian. I played Chub Young, captain of the Fire Shrike, who just knows in the back of her head that little radish is going to come and try to do something.
No nonsense.
Yeah, no, he's going to do something. I'm just going to tell Rex to start firing that missile launcher everywhere.
Just put it everywhere.
Yeah, we go commit war crimes. Even I can do it in this game. I will commit war crimes. I've done it in other games. I'll do it in this game.
It's all right.
Just bring my mystic in here and have your dragon's breath. Anyway, you can also find me on Tuesday and Don't Seattle for anything less, playing Sakura, the cybernetically bio-enhanced street samurai that loves to use katanas and the fists a lot. And every once in a while goes up to Sly Keep, gives him one good hell of a whack and say, "Throw me."
To which Sly Keep, of course, complies.
It's great because I can get up high without having to jump. But hey, and when our intrepid game master for Don't Seattle for anything less needs to take the break because the dreaded tax season is coming at her work, I plan to run a game called Hardmaster, which is basically set within fantasy Britain. So we're talking low fantasy, low magic, but it's a lot of fun. And if you like a game where you can die quickly, well, this is the one for you. But no, it's yeah, it's a little trip down feudal type Britain where we get to play different people. It should be fun. Yes, and people do die quickly. Anyway, that's it for me.
Awesome. And it goes to David the Commodore.
Oh, is it me already?
It's you.
Yeah, it's you
Fine,
already.
fine.
Have a nap.
It's me. So yeah, tonight I played David the Gnome. No, I'm just kidding. Tonight I played Captain's Eye. That's what I do on Monday nights. And it's a lot of fun. Let's see. I'm 6'4". I kind of look like Goro. And I lead all these misfits and hipsters through space. And sometimes it's fun. And then other times I play Let Me Pop Star. And he is currently in the middle of the super Ocni apocalypse that you've heard of from the others. And, well, it happened. Tonight's episode was brought to you by Borks, Booze, and Bitches. It's food worth dying over. And if you've never been here before and you didn't know, our friends Purple Codex and Amy Gedden both sell t-shirts at tpublic.com. They are fantastic, and there's a wide variety of styles and things to choose from, and you should check it out. They are epic, and if you don't check it out, well, you're missing out. But this commercial is so awesome, normally, that James takes over, and that's what he's going to do now.
There are many ways of telling what is merch.
Oh, that? Well, tell us.
Tell me, what do you do with merch?
You buy it up.
And what do you buy apart from merch?
More merch. Epic things.
So, why do we buy Purple Codex merchandise?
'Cause it's epic.
Good.
Fucking Monty Python.
Oh God.
Why did it take me that long to do a Monty Python?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, actually.
I don't know. I don't know. But that usually would pass us on to Purple Codex, but she is sadly to do this week.
Right.
So we will
on to
pass it-
Amy Gedden.
Amy Gedden went.
Yep,
Do it again.
So we're on.
I
to-
spend
we're on
daddy's
to-
money, and I made
Okay,
me
there
get
you
them.
go.
That's it.
All right.
we-
And now
we're
on
going
to
to
whoever.
Win 5, get 1 free.
I like that guy. He's a nice guy.
It's me.
He's a nice guy.
It's me, y'all. It's win 5, get 1 free. Y'all know me. Y'all know what I do. I'll let my legacy speak for itself. You know, my legacy of Stramdex. We might get back to it. Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Smith. Win 5, get 1 free, and you've caught me tonight playing 2 characters because I have James-like aspirations. You caught me playing Matthias Merch Dieschborg, who has decidedly taken a turn into a much more effective way than when he was ever a standard player character. You also caught me playing Paralictor Burnward, a man with a past that is still shrouded in mystery, but he'll gladly tell you about his body count. You can catch me also on Thursdays where I run Project Severovo. That's spelled with a K, by the way, because I'm pretty fucking cool. I'm the coolest DM on this channel, and the rest of them can Highlander style fight me on a rooftop to get that legacy or to get that title from me.
Mike, tonight?
Challenge
I accept
accepted.
that challenge.
I just want to point out. I just want to
Rooftop
point out that
tonight?
I'll bring a mace.
I just want to point out that both Chris and I spent a lot of the late 80s, early 90s fighting. So we actually know people who will take an actual sword to you. So
Oh no, that's cool. Listen, either I win miraculously and have the title of the greatest DM on this channel, or I die, which is another good outcome.
Hey,
So,
hold on. Mike,
Um,
you're forgetting something.
What?
As long as you don't sexually assault your players, you'll actually be one of the better DMs on Twitch.
Mm.
Wow.
Whoa!
Fucking hell,
Passed
man.
that one
Come and
immediately.
Come and
Project
fucking get me.
Severovo, y'all! It's a game where Russians are sad and are finding out that things are bad. You can also catch me on various Saturdays where I may or may not be joining a campaign that happens to rhyme with the shitter bends.
Oh, you should. Please come be in this awkward hug with us.
You'll get to see that whenever it happens. I have gotten approval from the DM. I just need to make my character, but I think you're gonna love him because I love him, and if I love him, there's some sort of room for other people to love him. I'm also in various black box theaters and Justice Grab Bags. I've got a project that I'm full steam working on, and I promise it's gonna be like all the other ones, wherever I say for a couple months I'm working on it, and then it never comes to fruition. So you just listen to my music from 3 years ago. But if you're interested in keeping up, check me out on SoundCloud at ThatHoon. SoundCloud.com/ThatHoon, ThatHoon, all caps. Okay. If you're currently watching on YouTube and you want to see us on Twitch, twitch.tv/pair_o_dice_theater. If you are currently watching on Twitch and you want to watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/paradise theater. And if you like Twitter, that's crazy because a lot of people like Twitter. You can catch us at Pair Theater for scheduling, for community interactions, and for hot memes. And that's me. It's Mike. I had a weird one tonight.
all right. Well, that leaves me and me alone here to sign off. So we'll get the bookkeeping out of the way first. Everybody gets 1,000 experience points for tonight.
Yay.
Good job, everybody. And tonight's Player's Choice Award ekes it out by 1 vote. Twinkle, give yourself another 750 XP because you eked it out by 1 vote. It was between you and Vesa. Although I'm going to say that there was at least 1 vote for Burnward as well. So I thought that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Shit.
The-
Thank
and
y'all.
with
Mm-hmm.
And with that, down to the oh god, I don't know if my computer will do the right thing. With that said, I am Najusta King Zarad, and you can catch me here for Fire Shrike, our flagship show, my favorite group of space terrorists, space pirates, and never-do-wells. Don't call them heroes; they're protagonists, because if you've watched the show, you know they're kind of a far cry from actual heroes. You can also catch me here on Tuesday nights for Don't Seattle for Anything Less, where we are playing Shadowrun 6E, and I play Salvo, the cocky elven battle mage who loves to throw fireballs as much as Shaba does. And you can also catch me here every other every other Saturday night for the Bitter Ends, whereupon you will find we are doing Apocalypse World. We're doing a Water World type thing, our Wave World sessions. And yeah, that is weird and crazy with mutant squids and fucking kids that eat like pieces of metal, like literally eat metal, and and the last rock star on Earth who does weird things like accidentally summoning said mutant squid that wasn't any happier to see him than it was to see anybody else. And you can also catch me on my other channel of Zara play video games. I meant to do some streaming over the course of this last few days. Did not, because I was lazy and fat, and I played video games, but I just didn't feel like, making lots of effort. I put my fat kid on for the weekend, so I didn't do a whole lot.
It's
But I
okay,
am gonna get
Jessica.
back.
You're old.
I know.
True.
I'm
He's
getting-
old as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still young.
Says
Oh
the
yeah,
guy
no,
who's
Brian's just ancient.
2 years older than me.
Yeah, probably about that.
That's all right. I give the Commodore's a couple of years younger than me, and I give him. So it just kind of goes down the line.
Whatever, Dad.
God, fucking kids, man, fucking kids.
Oh, reading
These days.
With that said, I do believe that is everything that we have for tonight. For those of you who have not done this before, we have a tradition here. When we get to the end of the sign-offs, the last thing we do before we cut the feed is we all yell R.I.P. Fern. So let's get an R.I.P. Fern and get the fuck out of here. R.I.P.
That was horrible.